Yalimadat, welcome to the webinar, Your Seva Journey Shine Bright Like a Diamond. This is one of 4 soft skills modules that we're offering during the Diamond Jubilee year. This specific workshop is designed as a refresher for volunteers who attended the 2-hour Your Seva Journey that was held across Canada in June and July. For those who didn't attend the workshop, this is a condensed version. My name is Munira Premji, and I am the National Director of Training and Development for Volunteer Engagement. It is my pleasure to be part of this journey with you today, and I thank you for investing this time in learning. In this webinar, we will focus on the Seva framework. The Seva framework is designed to give Ismaili volunteers a guidepost on how to perform Seva in a way that embodies the values of our community, which are rooted in the Shia Ismaili Muslim tradition of Islam. And you will reflect on how you can apply the Seva framework in your service. While this webinar is designed for volunteers, the concepts of the Seva framework is applicable to all Jamaati members as it embodies how we treat each other, how we treat our volunteers, and how we interact with the broader community. Before we get started, in terms of logistics, there will be a handout of the Seva journey that will be available to you. But I ask that you find something to write on, your handout, a notepad, or your smartphone, something where you can take notes as we go through the webinar. Jot down anything you find interesting, an aha moment, something that you might want to try after today's session. Research indicates that when you write things down, it helps with retention of information, and hopefully it keeps you awake and engaged. At some points, I will ask you to pause the recording and reflect on some takeaways. All right, if you're ready, let's get started. Seva is an acronym that stands for Safety, Exceptional, Values, Ambassador. Let's now unpack each of these 4 words that make up the acronym Seva. We'll start with safety. As volunteers, we want to ensure that the Jamaat is safe. Being safe means addressing physical hazards and being aware of risks, threats, and exposures. Safety is the first part of the framework. As volunteers, we need to think safety first. We want to ensure that the Jamaat is safe and secure. In a speech in Nairobi in October 1982, Maulana Hazri Imam said, and I quote, "The Imam, while caring first of all for the spiritual well-being of his people, should also be continuously concerned with their safety and their material progress." Safety is about physical hazards and risks, a spill, or even a loose wire on the floor. About being aware of what is going on around us, an unattended package, or even an unfamiliar person. Safety also includes the privacy and confidentiality of a Jamaati member's personal information and being mindful of how sensitive information is shared via email or on social media. As volunteers, we're expected to be a role model for safety and security. We need to look out for everyone, regardless of our assigned duties. We need to be situationally aware, alert, and attentive. What you see on the screen now are 5 boxes: white, yellow, orange, red, and black. White being a normal state and black being a state of panic and disaster. These are levels of situational awareness. Good situational awareness is being in the yellow zone, attentive but relaxed, keeping your eyes and your ears open, alert to one's surroundings, paying attention to situations that might be intensifying. That includes looking out for someone who may be lost or needs help. Take a moment now to review the safety takeaways on the screen. Jot down how you might be able to apply safety in your role as a volunteer or a Jamaati member. You may want to discuss this with the person sitting next to you. You can pause the screen at this time. Let's now look at the next part of the Seva framework, exceptional. Exceptional is about providing exceptional service. When we serve the Jamaat, we not only want to meet the Jamaat's expectations, we want to wow the Jamaat by creating memorable experiences for them. When we look at organizations that provide extraordinary customer service, they have elevated their customer experience to be exceptional. The red carpet treatment. Exceptional is treating everyone like a VIP. Children, seniors, individuals who may be from a different culture. Exceptional is about exceeding the Jamaat's expectations, not just meeting them, but exceeding them so that the standards and level of service exceed what the Jamaat could reasonably define as normal or as expected. Delivering exceptional service comes from a place of gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunity to contribute to another person's spiritual journey. Gratitude that you show in your words and your actions when performing Seva. Think of Maulana Hazri Imam when he speaks of service. He is the epitome of humility and gratitude. Exceptional service is about behaving and conducting ourselves to this standard. You know, it's easy to provide exceptional service when the person we are serving reciprocates our kindness. The test of exceptional is whether we can do it in every case, regardless of our feelings toward the other person or how they respond to us. Being exceptional means preserving and respecting the dignity of others, even if they are wrong or have wronged you. Sometimes we know people act out when they are under stress. They can become agitated or unreasonable and may seem to behave irrationally. The gold star of exceptional service, the test of exceptional service, is how you react in these situations. It's important that we serve as one united team and share responsibility and accountability for ensuring a positive experience for the Canadian Jamaat during the Diamond Jubilee year. Disney has a great philosophy. The customer might not always be right, but they have the right to be wrong with dignity. Part of providing exceptional service is using positive language. Take a look at the screen and see how each sentence is rephrased to make them positive statements. So rather than saying, "You can't sit there," perhaps we can say, "Let me help you find a place where you will be comfortable and safe." Or instead of saying, "I don't know," how about we say, "Let me find someone who can help you." Wherever possible, explore yes before saying no. Take a moment to review on the screen tips on how you can be exceptional. Jot down how you can apply this concept within your teams as well as with individuals you serve. You may want to discuss this with the people you're sitting with. You can pause the recording at this time. Let's now unpack values. Our values serve as broad guidelines on how we connect and interact with each other and the wider community. Our service is deeply grounded in our faith, which stems from our 1,400 years tradition of service. With values, there is no on-off switch. The tenets of our faith must govern our every action and behavior. We need to be truthful and keep our promises at all times. When we serve, we have been entrusted to serve people on their spiritual journey. Honor that trust and safeguard that person's journey by living our faith in every interaction and doing it joyfully. You know, yours might be the one pivotal moment or one strong memory that a murid has about their Diamond Jubilee experience. Let it be one that exemplifies our faith. Recall that the Holy Quran has said that we are born of a single soul. If we are all connected, then hurting others only hurts us. Honoring others honors ourselves. Take a moment now to review the values takeaways on the screen. Jot down how you might be able to apply the values of our community when performing Seva. Discuss it with people around you. You can pause the recording as you reflect. We now come to the A of the Seva acronym, and that stands for ambassador. We are ambassadors of our community and institutions. If we are representing the institutions Hazrat Imam has created, we want to do it in the way he would wish. As ambassadors, we represent the Ismaili community. And so we want to always conduct ourselves with that in mind. When we think of who the ambassador serves, it's not just a Jamaati member in the Seva that you've been assigned. You are an ambassador of our community in your own teams. How do you treat members of your team? You are an ambassador with your families. Our families often sacrifice so we can serve. You are an ambassador of our Shia Ismaili Muslim community to members of other faiths. We must remember that each interaction reflects on who we are as a community. Each interaction reflects back on who we are as Ismailis. Take a moment to review takeaways on the screen on how you can be an exceptional ambassador. Jot down how you might be able to apply this in your role as a volunteer or a Jamaati member. You can pause the presentation at this time. What is our brand as an ambassador? How do we consistently demonstrate this brand? We are inviting all Ismaili volunteers to demonstrate our brand in 3 ways. Hand over heart. This is often used as a greeting in certain parts of the world. Let it be a symbol of our gratitude for being given the opportunity to serve. Let it be a physical reminder of the values we carry in our hearts and the ethics of our faith. Imagine each time we interact with someone that it starts and ends with this simple gesture, hand over heart. Smile at everyone and welcome them as if they are the most important person in the room in that moment. It does not matter whether you know them personally. Connect with this soul that is a part of you, regardless of who they are or whether you know them. A smile is indeed a blessing from Allah. Say, it's my pleasure. When someone says, thank you, instead of saying, you're welcome, or no worries, or no problem, or say, it's my pleasure. My pleasure conveys a message about the joy with which you're serving, that it is your honor and pleasure to do this, whatever the task. Okay, let's bring it all together. We've talked about the 4 concepts that are important to Seva, but these are not isolated concepts. We need to do all 4 if we are to enact the Seva framework successfully. We cannot say that today is Tuesday and I will be safety-minded, or on Saturday, I will focus on being exceptional. We need to live all 4 components of the Seva framework at the same time and make it part of who we are as Ismaili volunteers and as an Ismaili community. It is about each one of us being a safety-minded, exceptional, values-based ambassador. Try and commit this to memory so that each time you see the Seva framework, you immediately and with no hesitation recognize that it stands for safety, exceptional, values, ambassador. When you perform Seva, people may forget what you did or what you said, but they will likely never forget how you made them feel. We've all experienced situations where this was true for us. Let's serve in a way that makes it true for the individuals we serve. To conclude the webinar, take a moment for personal reflection. Review your notes. Think about the Seva framework and identify one thing in each area that you will do individually to become more of a safety-minded, exceptional, values-based ambassador. Perhaps it is about becoming more situationally aware. Or you may want to commit to elevating your service from ordinary to extraordinary. Or it could be as simple as smiling when you serve, or forgiving someone who has wronged you. Whatever it is for you, make a commitment to apply this in your service beginning now. I thank you again for investing your time to participate in this webinar. As a volunteer, you're truly the strength, the rock, the pillar of the community, and the pride of the Imam. It has been my pleasure, hand over heart, to be part of this journey with you today. We have additional workshops specifically for the Diamond Jubilee year, workshops on effective interactions, on working through conflict, on situational servant leadership. We hope that you will continue to participate in this learning so together we can enhance our skills to support Hazrat Imam in his lofty and ambitious goals for his Jamaat. Yali Madat and Diamond Jubilee Mubarak.